Welcome to anything. Oh, I fucked it up.
We already fucked it up.
Welcome to EnneathingGoes.
Welcome.
Do you want to introduce yourself first, or do you want me to introduce myself first?
I can go first.
Okay.
I am Kaden. I am a 9 wing 1.
What are your what's your instinct stacking?
Oh, are we doing instincts right off the bat?
I mean, I was gonna do mine.
We're getting deep into it. Okay. I am definitely social self-pres are the top 2. Pretty sure social is first. But I have no idea how to interact with people one-on-one. Exclusively in group settings.
I'm Madison, and I'm a 5 wing 4 sexual social. Yeah. All right, let's get into our disclaimers.
Should we dive into it?
Yeah, let's dive into our disclaimers
all
first.
All of the warnings.
So, we're long distance. I'm in Morgantown, West Virginia, and Kaden.
I'm all the way in sunny Minnesota. I was having a great
time. So basically what we're having to do is record Skype sessions for our audio. So sometimes it's not going to be the best. And sometimes we're going to have difficulties actually like recording and filming just schedule wise. Especially since Kaden is still a college student and I'm a recent college graduate, still applying for different like big girl jobs. So yeah,
we have no money and we have no time, but here we are anyways.
Yep.
Between the two of us. Oh, you want to go ahead?
I was just gonna say that we're also very broke, like very broke. So we're not. This isn't gonna be very high tech or anything because we can't buy new equipment, and even if we could, we can't get Skype to work. So it's fine.
We're fairly limited by the technology that we have right now.
Yeah. All right.
Between the two of us, I think we cover most of the LGBTQ spectrum. I've gone from L to T, so I've gotten the whole rainbow pretty much.
Mhm. And I am very bi. Just so bi.
So just as like a shared identity, it's probably going to come up a lot. I don't know if I don't know who is even listening to this, but if you have any experience with anyone that is gay, we like to talk about it.
Hold on, is that you in the Google Doc moving the cursor?
I have to have something to do, and if I can't pace when I'm on a call, I have to be doing something with my hands. So right now, in our shared Google Doc, I am just moving the cursor up and down, and that is, I wasn't even realizing I was doing it, but it was happening.
I thought my computer was glitching again, and I was like,
your computer isn't glitching. I just don't know how to sit still.
All right. We're not safe for work. Sex is probably going to come up. Actually, I think, no, we have an entire episode of Bang, Marry, Kill. All the like triads that we've planned out. Also, I tend to cuss like a lot, and I'm trying to tone it down, but it's gonna come out at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're not safe for work. But yeah, we're also not professionals. We just, we're Enneagram enthusiasts. We've never attended an official training session. We've read some books, internet articles.
How the fuck do you get certified for that kind of shit?
I think, remember that link I sent you to all of those, I think you have to go to I think you have to go to those, which it would be nice because one of them's in St. Paul. So if you still have like your apartment there, then I can just drive to St. Paul and stay with you, and then we can go together to one of those. Because all of the other ones are just as far away from me. except maybe the one in North Carolina. The one in North Carolina I could probably do.
I don't even know what that would be, though. Would it just be like you're a bunch of strangers in a room and you sit down and talk about your feelings in the Enneagram?
No, I think it's like a full-on class. Like, it was like, it's a 2 or 3 day seminar.
What is that? It's, for me, being like a college student, that's so fucking weird to think about.
Why?
Right? What does that look like?
I think it would look like any other class that you've taken as a college student. Oh, wait, though. I guess your school is pretty small. So, like, have you, like, what's the biggest, like, lecture?
The biggest lecture I've ever been in is 60 people.
Oh,
it was like a physics for dummies lecture.
So I'm a WVU grad. So for some of my GECs, I had to like take the bigger classes, and I think the biggest one I was in was it was a little over 250 people in one class.
Do you think that they get that many people signing up for their trainings?
I would assume somewhere close to that.
That's wild to me.
Yeah. It might not be that big. I don't know. We'll have to go and see, and then report back and make it an episode.
That would be interesting. That's also a good segue though into the fact that we are not trained.
Yeah.
Yet again, just going to reiterate that I have no marketable skills, as I'm finding out.
You do have marketable skills. Okay. Also, I'll dive into like what we majored in college. So I majored in theater, and then I did some dabbling in Japanese studies.
Woo.
Yeah, and that's actually how Caden and I met. We met in Japan when we were both studying abroad, Kansai Gaidai, which is why. But yeah, so that's why we're so long distance, because we've never been. The only time we've actually lived around each other was when we were in Japan, and we are not there anymore.
Yep. Sad times. I like to say that I'm a Japanthropology major, but now I tacked on Asian studies too. So.
Did you go ahead and do that triple major?
I am now a triple major, and if I say it aloud, it sounds absolutely horrifying. Japanese anthropology and Asian studies. I don't know. They kind of hand them out like candy here. Like so many of my classes were cross-listed between, my double majors that I was like, I just have a third major now.
Yeah. Whereas with WVU, I don't qualify for the minor in Japanese because I studied abroad. If I hadn't studied abroad and I'd stayed over here and I'd taken 2 classes, I could have gotten the minor. But because I went to Japan, and the school I went to was partnered with us, my credits didn't transfer correctly and didn't transfer as the classes that I would have needed. So I don't have that minor, even though I've done literally all the classes. So yeah, I could have stayed on for a year because one class that I needed was offered in the fall and one class was offered in the spring. Stayed on for a year just for those 2 classes and then graduated. Or I could have just graduated and then list that I studied abroad on my resume, which I think, it's fine, honestly.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so.
Should we jump right into what we're doing this episode?
Yeah, I think, yeah. All right, so our overview is, wait, no, we still need to discuss our Twitter and email and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so.
Media.
Yeah, we have a Twitter. Yeah, we have a Twitter account. It's at EnneathingGoes, spelled the same way as what we're listed in your local podcast directory as. We also have an email account, which is EnneathingGoes@gmail.com, and you should 100% email us or tweet us. And especially since at the end of every episode, we're going to ask a question. Sometimes they're going to be serious. Sometimes they're going to just be funny things that have come up in our conversations outside of here. And you should 100% tweet us or email us your answers. And then in the next episode, we'll start off by like talking about that question and talking about the answers that we get, if we get any.
We have
you don't
low
have
expectations for the amount of involvement we're going to get.
Yeah. But yeah, do that if you'd like. We'd like it if you would.
Yes.
We're also a banter podcast, if you hadn't really figured that out yet. We have a loose structure, I'd like to think.
There's almost no structure.
It's loose. It's there.
Anything means literally anything. We will talk about everything here.
Oh, speaking of which, if you have something you want us to talk about, you should email us or tweet us. Yeah, because we'll talk about anything. We just kind of love to hear our own voices.
We have lots of opinions on lots of things that we're not qualified to talk about, but we will anyways.
All right, so let's dive right on into what is the Enneagram. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so the Enneagram is a personality test, and it's a test that focuses on our interconnectedness between everybody. And it says that everyone has these 9 basic fears and desires, and one of them is the strongest in each of us. And based on like which one is strongest in us, that's going to affect most of our daily like actions and how we interact with other people and how we interact with the other fears and desires in the Enneagram. But yeah.
So I think, sort of another perspective on that is it's a tool to understand the potential variation of how people experience the world and really open yourself up to looking at that and, I don't know, decentralizing your own ego, fancy words, but like, I don't know, just trying to put aside your own biases for a second and think about how other people view the world and then use that to interrogate how you view the world.
Or you could be a 5 and just use it to like observe everyone and analyze them all.
Or you could do that. You could do that.
Oh, I love it when I make a prediction based on the Enneagram and I'm right. Oh my God, it's the best thing ever.
Okay, this is a total tangent, but I really love watching TV and trying to type people, except I don't watch that much TV. But tonight, my teammate invited me over to go watch The Bachelor. And so
no, listen, I've been watching it because, so my roommate Natalie is a 2, and she loves The Bachelor. She 100% loves it. I am not a fan, but she's a 2, and so I watch it with her because, I want her to feel loved and like I'm appreciating her and connecting to her. So I watch it, and they're all insane. They're all absolutely crazy, and we just joke about how crazy they all are. And
I don't think I'll be able to get through the episode without copious amounts of alcohol.
Oh, 100%. Oh, it's so
I'm definitely the liquor store is on the way to her house, so that's the route I'm taking tonight.
They're all A, so desperate, and B, so dramatic. So dramatic. They'll be like, I didn't get enough time with him tonight. This other girl interrupted me to take time from him. And we're like, well, no, duh. Like, you're on, like, just interrupt her. Go take him back. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, honey.
I don't know.
It's so, it's so bad. We'll have to do an episode where we just discuss The Bachelor.
Sure, we can. I'll try. All right. So let's dive in. You know what the Enneagram is now, hopefully. We did a really shit job at explaining it, but there's some basic concepts I think that you can take from that. So we'll start with type 1 and go all the way through to type 9, ending with the best, obviously. That's where I'm at.
Okay, someone went to 3.
Mm-hmm. I oscillate between bouts of extreme overconfidence and bouts of extreme self-deprecation, and that is the only way I know how to survive.
All right. So type 1. Type 1s and type 3s, by the way, are like my favorite numbers on the Enneagram. So I love you, 1s.
Because they're competent.
Yes, they are so competent, and also we're part of the competency triad. And we get along so well. Love you, 1s. 1s are the reformers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, I'm just jumped completely.
Okay, so basic desire is 1s just want to be good. They want to do good in the world. They want to be good. My sister is like hard type 1. She went to go work in philanthropy, and like all of her life has sort of just had her shit together because she has this idea that she has to have her shit together. But the fear of that, sort of the flip side, what's driving that is the fear that you're not good enough, that you're not doing enough, you're not being enough, that you need to do more. And so that's how you're sort of overcompensating by being perfect.
Yeah, basic fear of being bad.
I know, it's so sad.
No. So they're
in.
I love 1s so much. I cannot stress this enough. Also, my dad's a 1, and then Shayla's a 1. Shayla also might be listening to this.
Okay, but once in a bad place is an interesting time.
Okay. Oh well, okay. So they integrate to 7, and they disintegrate to 4.
Do we need to talk about what integration and disintegration are real quick?
We might want to do that. Okay, so remember back when I said that everyone has the same basic fears and desires, it's just that one is stronger. So throughout the course of a day or a week or a month, you'll go to different places and different fears and desires. But each number specifically goes to other numbers when they are stressed out or in growth.
And when we say go to, we mean that you're still your number, you're still your type, you have that basic fear, basic desire, but you're sort of borrowing traits from the other numbers in the Enneagram to round out and cope and deal with whatever is stressful in your life.
Oh, we also didn't go into wings either. We just...
I mean, like, it's the basic premise of wings is that the way that they're oriented on the Enneagram circle, like the ones that are adjacent to you, the number is close to 1. So 2 and 9 in a circle are closest to number 1. But those are the most easily sort of like related emotional states, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if you're on a spectrum.
Yeah.
Those are closer to you.
Your 1 type, it doesn't have enough coping mechanisms or enough ways to like interact with the world. And so you kind of have to lean on the other numbers. And the ones that are closest to you, they're easier for you to lean on. And the ones that you go to in disintegration and integration are numbers that are also easier for you to access.
Yeah.
So we're all constantly kind of shifting and moving. It's just that your 1 base type is like the strongest, and it's like your core, and it never really changes. You just kind of take on the traits of other things. But yeah.
So 1s integrate to 7, and 7s, like what the 7 brings to the 1 is sort of really uptight, intense ones. When they learn how to relax and have fun, they actually feel a lot more centered in themselves, and they're actually able to do more of what they want to do. So they're in a healthier place.
But then they can disintegrate and go to 4, and 4 brings
there's a lot of self-hate and self-judgment. You go really internal and you get really down on yourself, and what that does though is that it's not actually being productive and helping solve issues. You're just internalizing, which means that you're continually hurting people on the outside by only focusing on yourself.
Yeah. So, but I still love you, 1s. I love you so much. You're good. You just need to loosen up, and you need to recognize that you're good. You are
need to take things less personally. It's not personal. It's fine. Mm-hmm. You're fine.
Yeah. All right.
Also, my prep, the only prep I actually did for any of this, was to find memes for all of the Enneagram members. So my meme for the type 1 is the meme of Eric Andre shooting a man and then saying, I wonder how you could have done this, essentially.
Yeah.
And that is like typical 1 at 4. They will screw up their own lives by being too tight and too tense, and then blame other people because they can't take any more weight, any more burden than the ones they're already placing on themselves. Yeah. So Eric Andre, you are a 1.
You
apparently.
Also have them listed as the perfectionist, which I think is a name that that's actually, no, that is one of the common names.
I think it's a common name. Yeah.
Yeah. The perfectionist, the reformer. Yeah. Okay. Do we want to share a personal experience relating to ones?
I already shared. My sister is a hard 1.
Yeah. Okay. My dad is a hard 1. He's a 1-wing 2, though, so he's a little softer.
I think she has a 2-wing too. I mean, because it's the philanthropy. How do you go into freaking philanthropy and not just want to help people constantly?
9s are very people oriented, so it could be.
She is out there starting problems. She does not have a 9-wing. I can tell you, as a teenager, she was not going 9. She was hard 2. I want to be helpful, but also I will go to 8 and start judging you. Okay.
Okay.
That brings us perfectly into 2s.
Yeah, 2s.
I feel like you have more personal experience with them.
Yeah, so my mom is a 2, my roommate Natalie is a 2, and my current partner is a 2. So a lot of 2s. I
played a 2 as a D&D character once. It was a time.
Oh, but yeah, so okay. So they're the helper. They're very good. 2s are so good. Their basic desire is to be loved. Oh. And their basic fear is that they're unlovable. And yeah, it's kind of sad when you put it that way. Like, no, you're fine. You're so fine. It's okay.
And so they cope. They cope by doing acts of service.
But yeah, it's giving to get kind of love. They will do something for you and want love in return.
And it's so fucking soul crushing when they figure that out, though.
I know. And you don't have to. You and yourself are worthy of love. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything to get it.
Okay, are you ready for the meme?
Oh, okay, yeah, you can skip to your meme.
I'm really excited about this one. Because my housemate is a 2. One of my close friends. It's the dog sitting in the room on fire saying, "This is fine."
Okay.
Because if you are a 2, it's bordering on 9-ish almost, but if you are a 2, you will sit in a room on fire and say, "I am fine. I don't need to address my emotions. I am just going to give and give and give to you, and then you will love me."
So, since you brought that up, one of Natalie's, something that she always, repeats, over and over again is, when something goes bad or, goes wrong, she'll just say, "It's fine. We're fine. Everything is fine." And she'll just say that over and over and over again. And so it's very...
That's the quintessential 2 meme. This is fine.
Everything is fine. We're fine. All right. So 2s disintegrate to 8 and integrate to 4. So when they disintegrate, usually, honestly, it's generally because they've either taken on too much and are like, I have to help so many people, that they've neglected their own needs. And then when they realize that they've been neglecting their own needs, or sometimes they don't even realize it, they're just like, I am so hungry and tired and just irritable.
And they go mad.
They go to 8 and they get kind of pushy and aggressive and kind of bossy. But when they integrate to 4, the 4 kind of brings them into themselves, and they like will stop and they'll examine their needs and their emotions and how they're feeling, and it'll make them like it'll make them take a look at themselves and start actually taking care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because when 2s are really, really unhealthy, they can start neglecting themselves.
Yeah.
And it gets, yeah.
Another way to kind of look at this is that there's like internal facing types and there's external facing types, right? And 2s are very external, right? But 4s are very internal. So a 2 going to a 4 is balancing out that sort of external focus with examining yourself.
But yeah. So
next up.
The 3s. Ooh, I also love 3s. They're one of my favorites too.
3s scare me. They intimidate the shit out of me.
I can't wait for Francesca to listen to this and hear that and be like, yes, be intimidated.
Yes. Okay. I've learned to live with it. I think the idea of 3s scare me more than 3s actually do. I have a story about a recent interaction with a 3. So a friend of mine, and I say friend meaning acquaintance, Morley. It's like, like we hang out in the same friend group circles and we'll be sort of chit-chatty if we see each other.
So they're a surface friend. Like, you remember my hierarchy of friendships? Like, they're surface friends.
Yeah.
Which we can get into that in the 5 episode.
If you can deep dive into that for 5.
Yeah.
But he recently threw a dinner party and invited pretty much everyone in our friend group, had about 7 boxes of wine, and then he definitely threw the dinner party to announce that he was going to law school and where he was going, but then like announced
it you started to tell me about this.
He announced it in the middle, and he was like, but that's not why I invited you guys here, So like, because he's so self-conscious then about like coming off a certain way, like coming off like he's so self-absorbed that he actually like doesn't realize sometimes that like even if you just say like this isn't your intention, it's like definitely obviously you want attention right now, like, and that's okay to just say I want attention. But
see, I'm very much a give me attention person. If I'm attention starved, give it to me now.
Yeah.
Granted, I only have, cause I'm a 5, so I only have like a couple of close people. And so when I do get attention starved, they know it. Because I only have those couple. But yeah, okay. So, the fears and desires. We should probably name them. They're the achiever.
Yes.
The achiever. Okay. Fears and desire.
Fears, they want to be valuable and worthwhile. They don't like being worthless. Sort of the inverted of that.
Yeah. You guys need to like see your self-worth so much more. You're all so good.
They think that they can like achieve self-worth by doing things, and it's just do. And then you just burn out.
Yeah.
And they go to 9, which is me.
Yep.
And end up sitting in their pajamas all day, eating chips on their couch, and being in a hole of misery.
Yeah. So they they disintegrate to 9 and integrate to 6. And so when they integrate to 6, they kind of become secure and steady and stable in their own right. And they just kind of steady out, which is nice.
Slow down.
They slow
down in a good like 6 way and not in a 9 way where you're lethargic.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you already shared your experience. So yes. Do you want to share your meme?
Oh, yes. My meme is Kermit sipping some tea. Because all of the 3 that I know have been gossips. I'm just going to put that out there. They are all about the gossip. Whether they want to admit it or not.
Okay. He just alienated all the 3s out there.
Sorry, 3s. You know what? I accept that though, because I also am kind of all about the gossip.
Okay.
Productive gossip.
All right. So
it's the socializing.
Socializing?
Yes.
See, I'm about the gossip. I don't generally share the gossip, which I know might be weird for some of you. I will share my personal gossip with my close friends. And I guess now I'm sharing it on a podcast, and it's probably just because I can't see you. You don't seem like we're real people. It just seems like a comment.
Okay, you got on my case for alienating the threes, and then you pull that line out, you just alienated everybody. You're not a real person. I'm sorry. You're just a figment of our imagination.
Well, no, this just seems like, a conversation with Caden. I don't even know if anyone's going to listen to this at this point. So
probably not.
So, but yeah, so I want all of the gossip because I want to know all of the gossip. I want to know everything. I have to know. Oh, there is this Tumblr called Incorrect Enneagram Quotes.
Yeah, you sent me
and it is so good. And they had this one about five.
Hit or miss about it.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. They had this one, and it was about fives, and it was like, my high school reunion is coming up, and I want to go because I want to know, but I don't actually care. And it was so. Yeah. I'll link the incorrect quote in our episode description. So, because it was very good. I found it very funny. Okay. The fours. All fours. Right. So fours are the individualist. And their basic fear is that they don't really have an identity. And their basic desire is to have an identity and to know themselves. And completely know themselves. And so what?
You know what I've noticed about fours? Because they're also focused on being individual, it manifests so differently.
Oh, it really does.
They all across the spectrum.
It's so, and honestly, when I was reading about them, I figured that they would be more in your face. But no, especially depending on their wing. Yeah. I'm pretty sure my friend Rhiannon is a 4-wing 5. I know she's a 4. And I'm pretty sure her wing is a 5. And she's very, I don't know, it's not an in-your-face, individuality. Oh, no. It's a very,
it's reserved.
It's reserved, yeah.
It's reserved as
fuck. It's good. It's, yeah. So, sorry, my observation about the 4s in my life. Honestly, I think the only person that I know who's a 4 in my life is Rhiannon.
I have dated 2 4s. And
so you finally decided that Claire was a 4?
She was a 4.
Caden had debated for months over her.
She felt really called out about 2s, but I think that was because leading into it, 4s go to 2. Just like 2s go to 4. There's a connection there. So 4s want to be special, and they're afraid that they're not special. And when that doesn't work out, they go to 2 and get kind of clingy about it.
Yeah. All right. So, so speaking of which, 4s integrate to 1 and disintegrate to 2.
Yes.
So, but yeah. What does it look like when a 4 goes to 1, Caden?
When a 4 goes to 1? So, I feel like there's a misconception that a 4 going to 1 means that you have to be, organized about your shit, or you've got to be, more in charge of it in a way. And I think it's more about how are you approaching and settling into things, because the 1 has a lot of purpose. And what I've noticed about the 4s in my life is that they tend to be kind of scattered. They have lots of ideas, and they've got really great sort of artistic spark, whether that's in the actual arts or whatever kind of other fields that they're in. but sometimes they lack this sort of mental focus and clarity. And I think that that's what they take from a 1. Like when they go there, that's what they're getting. They're getting that focus and that sense of purpose. Because they don't need other people to tell them that they're special. They just know.
I agree. They're so good. They finally figured that out, and it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, personal experiences. I guess I just explained about Rhiannon.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you want to hear the meme?
Oh, yes, your meme.
My meme is the knife cat. And I'm going to say that I think that there are a lot of memes that could cover 4s, depending on how your 4 manifests, right? But knife cat meme definitely fits most of the 4s that I've known.
Okay.
Let us know in our, I wanted to say the comments, but I don't know if we have comments. Email us. Email us and let us know.
And tweet us, and I'm going to try and get comments up.
Does the knife cat meme represent 4s? What is your Enneagram number? And what kind of meme represents you?
Yes. That's not our end of the episode question.
No. That's just for funsies.
Yeah. I'll also, in our description, I will just, every question that we've asked, I will list it down below for easy access for the 5s. Because that's one, whenever I watch a podcast, they'll ask a question, I'll be like, I need to answer that, and like type it up and email it to them. But then I get distracted. And then I can't find the question anymore, and I get so mad because I want to answer the question. Like I want to do that, but I can't. So there will be an easy access question list in our description for all of the 5s out there. Well, I guess everyone else too, but
it's mostly for the 5. Speaking of which, would you like to explain?
Type 5, the observer / the professor. There's a lot of names for us, but our basic fear is that we are incompetent and incapable, and our basic desire is to be competent and capable.
It's just so fucking ironic because you're in the competency triad.
I know. That's, yeah.
You're already competent.
But yeah, so the way we go about doing that is we search for information. We feel like we have to have all of the information before we start something. And that's definitely, we can have trouble starting things like this podcast. We have been talking about this podcast since before Thanksgiving. And I just had to research and get everything set up, and we have so many Google Docs because I just needed everything. I just needed all of the information, and I needed it all to be set and I needed to feel secure. But yeah, so 5s disintegrate to 7 and integrate to 8. So when I integrate to 8, I become bossy and kind of, because I know my shit, and I'm like, I know yourself. This, and I assert myself, but sometimes I come off as bossy and but it's because I know, and you're doing it wrong, and I know that you're doing it wrong, so just listen. But yeah, and then I get Caden is already exasperated because he has been on this side of it, but we feel comfortable and we can actually start acting. However, when we disintegrate to 7, which I do so much,
you go Vegas.
Yeah, I go Vegas. Because we're so internalized, we start externalizing because things get too built up inside. And so we start looking for external things to interest us and intrigue us, and we can get scattered. And yeah, and I do. And
depending on the wing, that might look different.
It definitely does.
My dad's a 5-wing 6.
Yeah, and I'm a 5-wing 4.
His sort of the way that he manifests that 7 externalization is still a lot quieter,
Yeah.
He's
100%.
being extroverted for him, but it's still quiet because that's the kind of person that he is.
And there's so many differences between the 2 wings, especially with the 5s. And this was one of the main things one of the main reasons why I wanted to start this podcast is because when most people think about a 5, they're mostly thinking about the 5-wing 6s, completely forgetting that 5-wing 4s exist. And 5-wing 4s and 4-wing 5s are very similar. Honestly, most of the time, what the difference is just integration and disintegration and like the triads.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so for instance, most people, actually no one who has known the Enneagram has typed me correctly right off the bat. No one, not a single person.
I typed you as a 2.
Yeah. Walker, one of my ex-boyfriends, he was like, you're either a 7 or an 8. And I was like, okay. But no one has ever typed me correctly. And it's because they expect 5s to be more like withdrawn, and certainly some 5s are, like especially your 5-wing 6s. But my thing is that I don't like people in general. And so when I'm interacting with people, I'm either going to 8 in growth and being like, okay, I can do this, or I'm disintegrating to 7 and being like, okay, let's do this. So most of the time, unless you're really close with me, you're not gonna see like stereotypical 5-ness out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're a 5, be assertive. Tell everyone they're fucking wrong and you're a 5.
Mm-hmm. Because we're right. We're 5s. We know it. We've studied it so much.
You've done all of the research. You know.
We know.
Okay.
But yeah, so do you want to do your meme?
Oh, my meme. Yes, I almost forgot. Mm-hmm. It's about the 5s. It's the meme of the guy saying it's about the cones from Parks and Rec with the little like pointed fingers and that look in his eyes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, because 5s, especially, I don't know about you other 5s, but when I disintegrate to 7, I go down so many rabbit holes. And when I'm down a rabbit hole, it's literally all about whatever my rabbit hole is. So one of my current rabbit holes is the Enneagram. So it's all about the Enneagram.
This is it. We're here to feed your 5 impulses.
Yes, I love it so much. This is just, it's going to stroke my ego so much.
Our next meme is brought to you by 6s, aka the anxiety attack waiting to happen.
Or the loyalist.
The loyalist. I see, okay, here's the thing. I disintegrate to 6. So my view of what 6 life is like is very bleak. This meme is the confused, blurry Mr. Krabs. And when I'm at 6, that's what I feel like all the time. So, 6s, you want stability. I too want stability. And you are afraid of being unsupported.
Mm-hmm. So, with integration and disintegration, you guys integrate to 9 and disintegrate to 3.
Me. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, because they take on your good qualities. So they can relax and kind of chill, and everything is like nice and calm. Mm-hmm. And then when they disintegrate to 3, though, they're like, they become showy, and they need to step up. Yeah, they peacock. Little peacock action. And this is very real for me because both of my siblings are 6s. My brother is a 6-wing 5, and my sister is a 6-wing 7. So there's a little bit of difference there, but they're both 6s, and they're both in the military because they seek out that
the stability
and the like
the hierarchy, discipline, the framework.
Mm-hmm. And they're both Marines.
Yeah.
Oh, also jumping back to 1s real quick. So my father, who was a 1, he was in the Air Force, and he definitely carried that 1 ideology with him into that
idealism of serving and doing good and all that shit.
I feel like most, so I was like an Air Force brat, and I have like a really military family, and I feel like most of the people who are in the military for like a while, or at least career military, like there are people who definitely get into it to get like the health insurance and stuff, and they do their one contract and then they're out. But like the career military people who like actually enjoyed it and like it are either like ones or sixes, most of them.
Yeah. See, I've got that one wing and I've got the 6, so I feel like if I were anybody except who I am, which it's not a big claim there, but I actually like military life. There are lots of things about me which means that will never work, but
yeah.
I can relate at the very least.
I mean, military life isn't bad as long as your government is making responsible decisions.
Yeah.
If okay. They're not,
they would kick me out anyways.
Yeah.
they don't take kindly to my kind. Anyways.
They're getting so much better though about the LGBT stuff.
Especially now that another 10 years it'll be all right. But
yeah,
right now, nah, it's not a good.
Oh, also, anyone, if you're listening to this and you are a female drill sergeant, I love you. No, listen, there's something so about female drill sergeants. My brother, the 6th, who prides himself on being tough, we were having a conversation, and he was like, we have to, when he graduated from boot camp, they have like a day, like a family day, and all of the drill sergeants are around there, and they will 100% embarrass their recruits. And so my brother, when he would see any drill sergeant, he would freak out a little bit and like, go to attention and, be all like rigid and uptight. But it doubled when it was a female drill sergeant. And I was like, what is wrong? And he goes, listen, the male drill sergeants will be like, oh, you're an idiot, whatever. But the female drill sergeants will find what you don't like about yourself and point that out. They hurt you.
I'm sensitive about that. This is the John Mulaney.
Yes, yeah, basically. But yeah, and so female drill sergeants make my brother just quake in his boots, and yes. I find that highly attractive. So I just want to let you know, if you're a female drill sergeant, you are beautiful. And yeah. But yeah, so
did we cover all of that?
Did we do your meme? We did your meme.
We did the meme. We started off with the meme.
Yeah, we did fear, desire, disintegration, integration, and then
personal connection.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know any 6s. I just live there. I rent it. It's like a motel that I stay in sometimes. But we're on to 7s.
The enthusiast.
I think my names are better.
Okay, what was your name?
I have an insider experience.
Okay.
My partner is a 7.
The person of letters, jack of all trades.
Person of letters and jack of all trades. Because if you had a 7, they would, all the 7s I've met, I think would be perfectly content in getting to like go just experience everything, right? And be a little bit good at everything.
Oh yeah. I was reading about that last night. In The Modern Enneagram by Kacie, don't know how to say her last name, Berghoef, I guess, and then Melanie Bell. But yeah, that they will, like, in growth, they'll go to 5 and concentrate on 1 or 2 things. But when they're just, like, in their natural 7 state, they will become basically a jack of all trades. But yeah, do you want to do your meme first and then dive into some other things?
We can open with the meme.
Okay.
So, imagine this. Elmo, eyes wide, flames behind him in the background as he embraces the world and the chaos it brings. So, I think there was a couple different things floating around, but I don't know why. I don't think I could explain why this meme is a 7. But this meme is a 7.
It's definitely how I view 7s.
Look at the show notes. This is what 7 is.
Alright, so
if you've ever met a 7, this is what they are.
No, it's exactly what they are. But yeah, so basic fear and desire. Their fear is of being deprived. Yeah. And like not experiencing everything. And so their basic desire is to never be like without and to never be deprived. Yeah. To experience like everything.
You know, you're a 7 if at some point when you were a child you went, oh, if I want this, I just have to get it myself. Yes. And so then you're like, well, I want everything. I'll have to get everything myself. And then you just do that because you want it, so you will have it.
So 7s disintegrate to 1 and integrate to 5. So when they disintegrate, I don't have much experience with that. What does that look like? You've probably seen it.
Really bitchy. I say that. My girlfriend's literally sitting right in the same room with me. No disrespect, man, love. But like they take everything personally. They have an idea of what. Okay, so like the one, they have an idea of what the right thing to do is, and the right thing to do completely matches up with what they want. And there's no other reason. There's no like moral backing for it, really. It's just because they want it, right? And so if you are doing something against that, they will judge the fuck out of you. Like they go hard judgy one, like the most judgmental one. Sorry, I'm like really shit talking it. She got in the corner. She's just sitting right there. Such a good sport. I love you. But 7s, when they center themselves and go to 5, they've got this like depth of wisdom, you know, that you can draw on from the 5. You sort of realize that there's like you can put yourself aside to help other people and see to other people's wants and needs because you care about them and you want them to do well. And that doesn't mean that you can't get what you want either. And actually, it makes it better for you in the long run. So, like, they ground themselves a bit more. They get out of, I wanted to say they get out of their head a bit more, but they go to 5, so they're never leaving their head. But they get out of that, like, sort of self-centered, I take everything personally, right? And they have a big picture sort of groundedness and clarity that other people can then draw on for, you know, like a point of inspiration.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So I have some 7 experiences, but I kind of want to share them in our 7 episode.
Save it.
Yeah, I'll save it because I have a very interesting.
A long list for 7s.
I have a very interesting relationship to 7 because they fuel my disintegration, and I love them, but I can't spend too much time around them, or I get into
destroy your life.
Yeah, I get into so much trouble, but we'll go into those stories later. All right. So type 8. Type 8.
What's your name for this?
They're the challenger.
Oh, I have them as the head bitch in charge.
That true. That is absolutely true. I have a roommate. I have a roommate. So my one roommate is a 2 and my other roommate is an 8, and she would greatly appreciate hearing that. But yes, so 8's the challenger, the head bitch in charge, the protector.
They do have a sense of moral justice that I think makes them a little bit hard to differentiate from 1s. But the problem is that they don't judge themselves. They actually don't give a fuck what other people think.
Oh, yeah, no. Not at all. But yeah, so their basic fear is of being controlled, and their basic desire is to be in control.
Top energy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Oh, listen, I have some. I'll have to ask. I'll have to ask Sierra. I'll have to ask Sierra if I can share this one story. I was just gonna share it, but I can't.
Consent.
I gotta get consent.
Do you want to know what the meme is?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, do the meme.
You say, "Help me, Mr. Obama, help me." The response, "Then perish."
Oh my god. But yeah, it's the Obama then perish
Obama
eyes.
then perish eyes. That is an 8.
Yes.
0 fucks given.
Alright, so 8s disintegrate to 5 and integrate to 2. So when they integrate, they can open up, be a little vulnerable, and start like taking care of people instead of being so needing, like instead of being so wrapped up in control and being in charge and everything. They can start like taking care of people. So for instance, my roommate who's an 8 is a nurse, and so her entire day, like her entire career, is oriented around taking care of people. But when they disintegrate, they go into their head and they go to 5, and they get so wrapped up in their head, and they need to like disengage from everyone, and they go stereotypical 5 and like disconnect from everyone.
They go to 5 to justify with information all of their own decisions. And they're like that they're in charge of things.
Very much so. All right. Are you ready to move on to 9s now?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think a common name for this one is the peacemaker or like the mediator or other. I'm gonna call us all the fuck out. We're passive aggressive grandmas. I'm gonna say that.
Passive aggressive granny. I love your meme for this one.
Yeah. The meme is the Arthur fist. That's sort of just clenched fist. I feel like you're a 9 if you relax a lot but never actually relax. If you go on the couch and watch TV and all you're thinking about is how fucking annoying your front door is because you have to use 2 hands to close it, because you have to like pull with one hand and then like to get the door slotted so you can turn the lock. I freaked the fuck out of my front door this morning. I can tell. I just like every time I always have something in one of my hands as I'm leaving because I'm a mess and I'm disorganized and I can't ever get the door closed, and I just spent like 3 minutes trying to get my door closed because I just had all the stuff in my hand. So if you agree to do something and then while you're doing that thing are like, I fucking hate this, why am I here right now? But you're still there and you won't leave, you're probably a 9.
Okay. All right. So basic fear is of loss or separation. Basic desire is to be connected to all of their loved ones at every single time.
You can never burn bridges.
But yes, so they integrate to 3 and disintegrate to 6, as Caden has talked about that. Caden spends a lot of time at 6.
I spent a lot of time at 6. That's true. I think part of it is also just that college is stressful, so I'm stressed out.
That's
constantly.
True.
But it's stuff like little things, like emails will make me anxious because I go to 6 and then I have the idea of like, fuck, like I got all these emails in my inbox that I have to go sort through, and that seems like a lot. And then what you do is that you kind of shut down from there, and you're like, I can't do any of this right now. I'm just gonna go watch TV. But then if you go to 3, part of that sort of like self-image conscious thing is like, no, I'm building a professional persona. I've been networking with people. If they take the time to email me about like this job opportunity that they want to send my way, I need to respond to that. I know, like, I need to, it's just really simple, couple lines saying thank you, and you send it out, and then it's done. But, like, it's that first inertial sort of, like, getting yourself moving. Oh, God. It's so hard to get moving. That's you go to 6, and you just get really stressed and anxious about it, so then you shut down, and that's the 6. But then you go to 3, and you're like, fuck no. I am going to look good. I am going to feel good because I have got this. I am the best. You get shit done.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up because we were planning on making these episodes only
20-minute
half an hour.
Episode turns into an hour.
Yeah, I told you there was gonna be no way. It's like there's no way we can't get through it. So our goal is always 20 minutes to 30 minutes because that's a commute. However, they're probably gonna be closer to an hour long because we're just gonna talk about random stuff.
We're just always gonna shoot for 30 minutes and always expect it to be twice as long.
Yes. So our next episode release date, what we're trying to do is we're trying to post on the last Friday of each month. That's what we decided, right?
Yes.
So, the next episode should come out. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, this is a leap year
from our recording date. Yep, it's a leap year.
Oh, that's nice.
I just revealed when we're recording in case anyone was paying attention.
Yeah.
All the 5s out there, that was for you.
But yeah, so at this point, we're probably only going to be posting 1 episode a month, just because Caden has
to write
school.
A capstone and also be a varsity athlete.
Yes. However, if we can get these out sooner, we'll never do more than 2 episodes a month. But I don't know. I'd like to do them every other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
at
feel
least
like
not until you graduate.
Once I have a job that doesn't require more than like 8 hours of my time every day, I'm good to go.
Yeah. So. Okay. We'll see. But for the foreseeable future. Yeah. Oh, we've got to ask our question.
Yes.
Okay. So the question of the week. Do you want to do this? Because it was your question.
It was my question. You know what? I think that poker player was actually a 1, but I'm still going to ask this question because I want to know. 3s, are you good poker players? Is that a thing? Because your whole thing is about deceit, right? That's your big stuff. You're like trying to present yourself in a certain way to people because you feel like you need to do that for them to like you. Are you a good poker player, or does that make you like an extra bad poker player because you want to like play into shit more? Let us know.
I have the answer that I think to this, but I'm gonna wait to reveal it next week.
Okay, next week we'll
do
tackle
all the
that
answers.
in our intro.
Yeah, we'll tackle that. So, but
email
tweet us.
Yeah. EnneathingGoes @gmail.com, @EnneathingGoes on Twitter.
Thanks for listening.
Yes.
Bye.
Have a good day and a good month.